just take me through, like, I guess, how long did sort of conversations between your agent and the Broncos last, and what was it like to, get that extension over the finish line?
I kind of knew at the end of OTAs that there would be some type of communication happening with extensions. I really appreciate the way my agent did it. He was just like, "Hey, we're gonna start this thing, and I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to enjoy your off time, and I'll let you know once we get close where we're at with that situation." And so it felt like it was moving fast in the moment, and that's because there was that lack of communication that was great to have, because I don't need to have my agent calling me about how the negotiations are going. I just need to trust him to take care of it, and that's why I hired him as my agent.
Hey, Quinn, Chris Thomas in Denver Gazette. I'm sure you'll have more talk about the extension, but a quarterback question. What's it kind of like, as an offensive lineman when you've got 3 different quarterbacks all taking first-team reps and you don't know who's going to be the starter, versus previous years where you knew Russell Wilson was the guy?
Yeah, I think it's another one of those things that I look at personally, and I think our unit does as well, of controlling what we can control. And so at the end of the day, I have things just like the rest of us need to work on, whether it be run game or pass game. And so whoever the quarterback is, we still have the same job to do regardless. And I'm excited to see how this competition goes and excited to see what happens.
Quinn, Andrew Mason, DenverSports.com. When you were sitting out that 2020 season because the year was wiped out and you were just working out, could you have envisioned how this would go and what led you to this point today?
No, to put it short, I didn't know that this was going to be the journey that I was going to be on. I kind of said it in my interview yesterday that I really made things small and didn't try to, look at the possibilities of this journey. And I just went and worked as hard as I could. I got out of my college town. I moved back in with my dad and used his weight room in the basement. We nicknamed it the Grit Dungeon, and it was, it's a dark, unfinished basement, with just a rack in there. And I was teaching myself center in his backyard, and doing what I could during the time to make sure I was still improving. And like I said yesterday, worrying about what I have to do today, and then worrying about what I have to do tomorrow, and knowing that hard work will pay off, and that good things will come in the future as long as I'm ready for them.
Quinn, Zach Stevens, DNVR. On the offensive line now, you have 4 returning starters. How much is that continuity going to help this group to start this season?
Incredibly. It's going to be awesome to have all of us, same faces in the huddle, same type of, friendly banter that we have. To already have the relationship that I have with Mike is awesome. To be able to come up here and just talk casually, when last year it was like still trying to get to know each other. And having played a season together, we all stayed really healthy last year. So I'm really excited to continue to grow as this unit through these training camp practices.
Quinn, Cecil Lammy, Denver Sports. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second, I'm going to piggyback off Mace's question because a couple of us remember you at the Senior Bowl. You're practicing with a broken thumb, Wisconsin Whitewater, Division III against the nation's best seniors. Getting to this point, who were some of your biggest supporters to get you to where you are today?
First and foremost is definitely my wife. She's always supported this entire dream. I would say at times she believed in me more than I believed in myself. And so I really appreciate, there was also a point during COVID where I asked her if I could bring a little weight set into her apartment when I moved in with her. And so I had a barbell and some 45-pound plates, and I was doing some lifts in her apartment. So she has been, supportive the entire time, and, telling me to chase this dream that I wasn't sure if it was possible or not. My dad was extremely helpful too. I didn't have a ton of money. I wasn't really working. And so my dad was helping me with that. Every couple weeks we would meet at a Best Buy, and he would drop off 70 pounds of ground beef and a freezer that he bought. And so then he was just like, "Hey, let me know when you run out," because that's all I was eating was rice and ground beef for every single meal. So those are some of the 2 main people. And then obviously my agent, he believed in me I first got in contact with him after my 2019 season, and he wanted to. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know I think you're a really good player, but just there's a lot more work to do. And so those are the three main people that have had my back.
Sean Payton was in here a little bit earlier, Quinn, and said, right in the center,
Oh, hi.
a little shortcut back here, said the offensive line is the position group he values most on the roster. To hear that from your head coach, A, how much do you appreciate the fact that he values your position that much? And B, it does put tremendous more pressure on you guys as well.
I think it was really stressed to us a lot last year about how, for the most part, the team goes as far as the offensive line. And so that kind of shows, in this offensive system and the success that Sean has had in the past. So we've understood since, this new staff came in that the pressure was going to be put on the offensive line, and that in the same breath, the way games go, it's on us. And so if we win a game, it's on us. If we lose a game, it's on us. And that's the kind of mentality that we have. Whether it be in practice, our individual period, team periods, one-on-ones, weight room meetings, we know what we know what the pressure is. But the cliche of pressure makes diamonds, so we're ready for it.
Hey, Quinn, down on your right. Brandon Cristal from KOA. I guess kind of a two-parter, but how crazy is it to think when we're heading into Wisconsin Whitewater, a few years later, you'd be one of the highest paid players in the NFL at your position? And then are there any big gifts for your wife or your dad that are in store, or even your agent, I guess?
Yeah, when I, finished up high school football and all that, and, I was thankfully recruited to play college football, I was like, all right, I got 4 more years to play football. Ended up only being 3, but I got this many years left of football. I want to become the best football player that I can be before I'm done and I hang up the cleats. And it was kind of like when hard work and luck kind of meet, and that was how I kind of started my journey. As far as gifts and stuff, we're just trying to even comprehend what any of this even means. I couldn't be more thankful, for my agent, the ownership, and George Payton. It's been an incredible journey. Forever thankful for George taking the chance and picking me in the 3rd round. I know it's not always one offensive line isn't always a glorious pick, but also seeing a Whitewater helmet and having the fan base going, what is that school? Like purple and silver, what is that? So it's been a lot of incredible support from fans, my family, and the ownership and some of the people in the front office. And I'm really excited to be here long term. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be a Denver Bronco for the long term, and excited to get to work tomorrow.
Last two, Troy Rink from the Denver Post. Quinn, congratulations on your deal. The team is transitioning and getting a little younger. What advantages can come from youth? And also, I asked Brandon this, are there any motivation from the low external expectations on this team when you have a young, hungry team that's not being viewed favorably outside the building?
It's for me, I'm obviously still a young player, but when you have a young team with a lot of veteran coaches, I think the hunger for us to learn and to mold as players to the system is really exciting and something that I'm continuing to look forward to. I'm only 1 year into this system, and I'm excited to finally have the opportunity to be going into a system for year 2. And so I enjoy being a part of this team, and I think there's nothing bad to say about having a young team. You don't want to count out the young, hungry team that is working really hard.
Quinn, you mentioned in your interview with Eric yesterday about Mike Munchak during your rookie year as being a person who helped you set your foundation in the league. What was the biggest thing that he did for you in that rookie year? Because obviously that first year is so pivotal to how you're going to kind of grow yourself in the league.
Yeah, as I've had time to go out through the last couple of years, I've been able to see how important it is to have good coaches and a good situation your rookie year. And so one of the main things with Coach Munchak was, he took things really slow with me. When it came to playing in the preseason games, he gave me let's get you in there at guard first instead of just throwing you in at center right away. Like, let's get you in at guard, get a feel for the game, and then let's get you some snaps at center. And the way he pushed me and coached me was something I'll always be thankful for. He was very patient, and was always willing to have those extra meetings with me to go over things, because I was coming from knowledge of pretty much nothing, of not even knowing what base defense or nickel defense even meant. I've come a long way since then, but he really, we sat down together, and he was one of the founding people of teaching me this game and how to play it. And so I made sure I called him up recently and just wanted to say that I appreciated the way he took care of me in my rookie year.
All right, Quinn, thank you.